Beginning with the semi-finals here are two incredible players. Like, literally anyone can win at this point, and it's such a high-level match. Let's start off by introducing our player in the bottom left-hand corner. Here in the red is the Terran player, Cure. And in the opposite corner instead, in the blue, it's the third player from Team Clash, hailing from Italy, your world champion. It is REYNOR. It's been a while since I've casted a high-level TVZ, and of course it starts this way. Because why not? Cure, very proficient at this. And I don't see the ovis being puffed towards that direction. That might be actually pretty deadly for REYNOR. Very curious about what is this proxy. Since there is a third SCV and Cure is taking gas, my guess is Mass Reapers, which is deceptively good on Oxide. Due to this, and of course due to how incredible big is the natural. So yeah, I'm expecting Reapers. It is Reapers. Second gas being taken by Cure. REYNOR doesn't really have a clue that this is happening. There is a very interesting position. Like, it's so close to the ramp as well over here. It is very interesting. Well, I actually love this by Cure. It's a very good one. REYNOR will soon find out that there is something pretty fishy about what Cure is up to right now. He doesn't commit the overload to check the gas and drops Spinecrawler immediately. The first Reaper already has joined. By now he knows what is up. And of course, microing this drone perfectly is a very important Spinecrawler console to keep that one drone alive. Finally, the first few lanes are up, but the second Reaper is up to the party as well. And what a party it is. These two Reapers already ramping up kills to already collect the first queen is out. And now Cure will join the fray with a third Reaper. Second queen in the natural will also climb up the ramp to get into the battle. But the Spinecrawler will force Cure out of that base. Very good reflexes by REYNOR, losing only 2 drones and a handful of lanes. This is not over yet. Cure climbs up the cliff again, only to be greeted by a Spinecrawler already leapfrogged to a very deadly position due to these Crypt Tumor being over here. Oh, the Reapers can go around that. Was a slight misplay from REYNOR. Trying to leapfrog these Spinecrawler before the time was nigh. Of course, 2 drones are going to fall for that mistake, but these Reapers are not really going anywhere. They go into the natural, trying to bring the fight to more drones. No roaches out yet, no link speed yet. It's about to finish. Oh, here it comes. A beautiful surround by REYNOR. And these Reapers look kind of trapped right now. Lanes in the main, the Spinecrawler forcing every single Reaper out of his main base, and there's no more Reapers. What an incredible defense by the third player. This is incredible. This has to be one of the best defenses I've ever seen against these kind of proxies, and REYNOR doesn't even care about the proxy anymore. He's just sending the lanes full ham onto the other side of the map. No factory over here. It's just the supply depots. It's just the second command center. And Cure is making even more Reapers. He's absolutely all in on this. He's not giving it back. And now that these lanes are at the wall, that's a significant waste of resources for Cure. That third base, the natural base, might never go up actually. And I don't really see a way in which Cure can break through the defenses of REYNOR right now. It would require significantly a higher number of Reapers. And to be honest, REYNOR has pretty much perfect scouting. He knows exactly where these proxies, since the overlords are on the other side. I think he might have seen it as well. No, he didn't. Here, sending his Reapers back home, REYNOR doesn't really feel like threatening the wall of Cure. There's a Painless Nesting coming as well. But of course, this Spinecrawler has to be the MVP. He might have only one kill, but it blocked so much play out of Cure. Beautiful counter by REYNOR, who finally checks what is up and sees that 2 of these wrecks are already being transferred back home. There is a factory being made, and REYNOR knows that as well. And to be honest, oh my god, Cure is going for a final push. He's going to get a couple of crit tumors. The third pace is already up for REYNOR. I don't know what Cure can do about this. Oh, this might be an incredible surround. Oh, these Reapers need to drop grenades left and right. Are they enough? Oh my goodness, so many of them have already died. The lanes are gonna chase it down, and REYNOR takes game number 1. It didn't start off great for this player here in the bottom left. He might go better here on Jagannatha in game number 2. In the red is the Terran player, Cure. In the top right hand corner instead, in the blue, is the Italian Stallion. Currently 1 point ahead in this best of 5. Can he do it twice in a row? It is REYNOR. I do love how game 1 has played out for the Zerg player, and this time he's gonna take some precautions around Cure. It's just a 16 pool, nothing too crazy, nothing you will expect any cheese out of it. It's just a safety measure. And to be honest, I always love this kind of changes in the build order to adapt to what your opponent is trying to play out. The series Cure tried to pull a lot of pressure onto REYNOR. In game number 1, it didn't do as well as you wanted it to go. But nonetheless, still a very deadly player. And I expect him to change stuff quite a bit as well. I don't know if he wants to stay the proactive player, which is pretty much a given in this matchup anyway, so he's going to be proactive at some point. I don't know if he wants to be that proactive. That is a whole different story. Of course, there is no proxy, so he's not going to play that aggressively, but still, this is Jagannatha. This is not a map on which you proxy a lot. Of course, the first few lanes are going to stop these SCV from getting too much scouting. And they're gonna move through the map to gain some scouting for REYNOR as well. Of course, there is a Reaper out already, just making his way through the map, indeed, to contest these lanes and get the information Cure needs, which is this is not a rush. And of course, he's going to confirm this after seeing the natural, seeing the count in gas. He's going to be pretty happy about this game state, knowing that his opponent was forced into a defensive pool due to how the first game has played out. Of course, this one SCV is gonna be chased down. Oh my goodness, the wall is open. Uh-oh. Yeah, you don't like this happening. A couple SCVs might fall. In the end, only one dies to the Lings. I'd say the Lings kind of paid off for themselves. They kill one SCV, that it's not a lot. Actually, it's fairly significant in the early game anyway. And the most important thing is that they slow down the command center in natural, which means they will slow down the orbital command, which means there will be less mules, which means Cure is going to be slightly slower in his build. And even just buying yourself 10 seconds, it's much more than 6 slow lanes can never afford to get for you, really. So it's still good for REYNOR. But this game is only in its beginning stage. There's still a lot of things that could go wrong for either players, and of course Cure is setting up his first aggressive maneuver. Oh, it's Banshee Cloak. That is interesting over here. A couple aliens to smoothing out the transition and maybe trying to chip some damage at whatever they find. In this case, it's a queen. Of course, not much they can do about it. Oh, these lanes might catch the aliens a little bit out of position. One of them is actually going to fall, so does the Reaper, and the last alien is going to find himself trapped as well. The queens are there to stop its retreat, but it will survive with just 7 health. REYNOR dropping down the early lair to contest any kind of leader aggression, knowing that he's feeling pretty confident in his early game. He's not really scared about anything, which is also very good against Banshees, since they cannot threaten you too much. They cannot threaten your tech, you cannot threaten to kill you straight up. Unless you severely misplay, which never happens at this level. So the Banshee is going to get a couple drones, maybe at best. And then, of course, the Spore Crawlers will stop their onslaught. Second Banshee is almost out, and so will begin the upgrade rush that Cure needs to break down the defenses of REYNOR. At the same time, REYNOR not dropping down the Evo Chambers yet. Dropping down a Spire here behind the Natural, which will be a very good scouting if those Banshees get over there. Which my feel is they will, because they will go straight into the main and then just maybe try to transfer into the Natural and try to get some damage over there. REYNOR is taking these Fur base and not the other. This is still Furf. Of course, over here, Banshees are going to be greeted by 2 queens and an Overseer. Over here, another Overseer and 3 queens. Yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. And now the Spire is halfway through without any vision from Cure. Cure tries to get over here. And of course, these Banshees are in vision of the Spore Crawler. But there is also an Overseer still getting 4 drones. Nothing to frown upon. REYNOR will still be far ahead in workers. Of course, mules kind of balance this stuff out. But in the end, it's all about the scouting information, and denying the scouting from that Spire, that is very much worth the price of 2 Overseers. Yeah, it looks like Cure doesn't really have a way to find what is up without a scouting. There's even a Spore Crawler over here. And yeah, to be honest, these Banshees are not gonna find any damage. Cure still looking for Crypt Tumors with these aliens. He's gonna find a couple, dropping down a scan to get another one, but 6 mutas already on their way. +1/+1 and centrifugal hooks for these Banelings on the way as well. REYNOR stabilizing to a fairly decent position. Cure incredibly good at macro himself though, so it's not like he's behind. He still pretty much has a very strong army with +1/+1, as you can see. And these mutas might have to do something pretty significant. They will catch the Banshees, and there is already an Overseer to accompany the mutas around the map. It's pretty good. No Widow Mines to threaten these mutas yet. And to do even more for REYNOR, his quick spread has been consistently amazing throughout the game. No Overseer with the mutas actually, which is a little weird. But the mutas will find a lone tank. Very good catch by REYNOR, already getting 2 Banshees and a lone tank with his mutas. These Marines are gonna try to slow down the quick spread of the Zerg player. Oh, but this is a deadly position. These Medivacs will have to collect everything. But here comes the mutas. That is not a good spot for Cure. Creep is just at his doorstep, and the queens will not allow Cure to stop his advance. Well, its advance, I guess. Probably the creep is neutral. Probably. Another good catch by REYNOR, stopping these Medivacs from getting too many creep tumors again. This queen's desperately trying to get creep onto this ramp. That will be incredibly good for REYNOR. But still, Cure's army is very strong right now. It's not like these queens are not gonna help. It's not like these Lings and Banes are not gonna deal a lot of damage, but Cure is in a very good position. Like, it's not easy to break this position, or his tanks are unsieged. The army of REYNOR is slightly out of position. He's going to retreat for the time being, knowing that there is an acceleration zone. More Banelings is what he needs. +2/+2 still has to kick in. These things are trying to catch on top of these Marines. They're gonna get a good trade. But creep has been finally slowed down by Cure. And now both players, 10 minutes, maxed out, a hive is incoming. Leak and tech, +2/+2 for Cure is about to kick in. While the +2/+2 from REYNOR is only halfway through. The mutas catch another tank and a helmet. And to be honest, getting these two tanks might prove a little bit of an obstacle for Cure. Meanwhile, REYNOR setting up a counterattack on the left side of the map. He knows that this is not something that can threaten him immediately. And the Banelings break through everything over here, ready to get on top of these lonely SCVs. Another tank will go down. Meanwhile, on the right side, another beautiful engagement. Banelings collapsing on top of everything. Cure loses on both fronts, forced to retreat with a lot of his own army, and then getting absolutely devastated by Banelings connections. 9 SCVs will go down, but let's be honest, like, being uneven on units lost, or resources lost most likely, with a Zerg player is never where you want to be. And REYNOR will teach that lesson to Cure with a hive incoming, +2/+2, ready to kick in. And of course, a juicy 40 supply lead he has over his opponent. Ultra's Cavern, the Winmore unit, is about to get down for REYNOR as well. Another tank is going to be caught by REYNOR, who's now double expanding on the left and on the right side of the map, totally in control of his own side. Very clean game out of REYNOR, while Cure failed to deal as much damage as he wanted and failed to stop this creep's advance. Another Baneling run by. This time Cure will lose a little bit less than the previous time. Still 3 SCVs are going to fall down. Meter still sharking for damage. REYNOR in a very good spot, but Cure still has a good army. And +3/+3 of course is going to be done very much sooner for Cure compared to REYNOR. REYNOR maxed out again, is looking for an engagement. Armies spread in 2 different positions, and REYNOR will force most of the army of Cure to retreat. These mutas are gonna deal a lot of damage to these clamped units. Meanwhile, Banelings trying to get connections on the other side. Cure pushing forward with his Marines. REYNOR will get this planetary without too much of a hustle, and is now retreating to face the rest of the army of Cure. This is a lone army of Marines. The splits are beautiful. The Banelings do not get too many connections, but now the lanes are coming to clean this up. Another full round of Marines is coming, greeted by another full round of Banelings. This time the connections are a little bit better, and it looks like Cure knows that this is REYNOR's game, and he goes 2-0 at match point in the semi-finals. Still a lot of games that could be potentially be played, but let's start off with introductions. Here in the top left hand corner, in the blue, it's the Zerg player from Team Clash, currently leading the series 2-0. It is REYNOR. And he's not at match point, guys. He's not at match point. So it means that the other player can lose one more game before going out of this tournament. It's the semifinals, guys. Can this Red Terran bring it on to the finals in a crazy comeback? We'll find out. It is Cure. Alright, again an early pull on REYNOR's side. which is again a good choice. To be honest, you don't want to be caught with your plants down. Cure has shown REYNOR that he can do a proxy, and he will do a proxy if the need arises. And of course, the 6 starting links can still maybe try to slow down the command center in the natural before the Marines actually start getting to much damage onto the links. It's 6 lanes. The command center will start here, and there will be a little bit of a battle here in this natural. Reactor before Reaper? Ooh, wait a second. Wait a second. Cure wants to pump out Marines like no tomorrow. There is absolutely no other reason for this. Yeah, second Rex. I love this from Cure. Like, game number 1, he went for super early aggression, didn't work out. Game number 2, he gave REYNOR a little bit too much time to stabilize, and REYNOR's late game is nothing short of amazing. And in this game, he wants to bring a little bit of mid-game pressure, which is something that REYNOR can have some problems with. The first 2 Marines are out, but this command center is going to be slowed down by quite a fair bit nonetheless. With this hero SCV running away. Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy. Yeah. Suddenly you became a scouting SCV, but yeah, there's a queen over here. Yeah, you're not gonna go pretty far. Oh, this fairy tale is about to end, guys. Oh, yeah, he's going to die. Yeah. It was good while it lasted. Finally, Cure shoots out the lanes from his natural, and he's able to take his natural command center, and whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. Those are 4 Rex, and this Overlord is going to find out. That might be greedy from Cure. Is this one Rex? Will he see the other 2? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Oh, REYNOR is going to drop down a Baneling Nest immediately. I don't even mind roaches against this as well, but I do think, like, without medivacs, like, these Marines are going to be easy prey to surrounds. And Banelings, even without speed, they can clear these up. Yeah, that is an interesting build from Cure. I'm expecting maybe to pull some SCVs with this as well, but not really sure what he can do about the Banelings. Like, yeah, you can steam split and get around that, but Light Shades has a lot of choke points. Like, Banelings can do a lot of work on this map, especially if REYNOR plays correctly around vision. I still like this for Cure. That's unique, to say the least. +1, well, not +1, sorry. Combat Shields and Steam Pack are both on the way. And to be honest, like, yeah, REYNOR is going to be caught with some links in the middle of the map. He's going to find out these Marines are moving out, and so will a couple SCVs, as you can see. Oh, the wall is open though. Yeah, that is, oh my goodness. That is not great. More Marines are gonna bring the fight to these lanes. Of course, they're gonna be shoot away. Cure finally gets here in the third base of REYNOR. Will he commit to that, or will he commit to the ramp? Looks like he's going to split his army. This queen is going to fall. And actually steams forward all the units on top of the ramp. Oh yeah, you don't want to be in that choke point. That is a deadly position. The splits, are they going to be good enough? No, they're not. REYNOR clears this attack effortlessly. And this is already a GG point. Me. Oh, yeah, you don't want to lose too many lanes, but actually he's winning another fight with just the lanes. Marines got in the middle. They get in a very good position. In the end, it looks like REYNOR is fighting a little bit more than he can chew, but he's getting so many Marines. Like, this is an absurd trade in favor of REYNOR, it feels. Yeah, okay, loses a Spinecrawler, a Queen, a couple Banelings. But come on, 10 SCVs? 30 Marines? Yeah, that is a deadly spot for Cure. Lings are gonna shock for even more damage. They cannot really dive into that natural, but the Lair is incoming with centrifugal hooks. This game is utterly over. Cure tries to transition out of this, dropping down a factory. And it needs a couple tanks, a couple medivacs, and even then, it might be too little too late. REYNOR might go to match point after all. Yeah, by the way, I'm sorry about the first two games, which I said it was a best of 5. It is a best of 7. It's semi. Yeah, that is another surround, and Baneling's just... Oh my goodness, he doesn't even need the Banelings. Yeah, REYNOR is kind of owning Cure this game. I do like the idea of the build from Cure. It's a good idea. It's clever. But of course, it's very vulnerable to scouting, which REYNOR did. It's very vulnerable to your command center in natural being slowed down. It's very vulnerable to many things. REYNOR was just all over the map at any single moment. And now Cure is probably in a little bit of an Hail Mary situation. Centrifugal Hooks about to finish as well as Burrow. Interesting. And REYNOR still looking for damage in the middle. Still looking for Lone Marines. Still looking for scouting. +1 infantry weapons is good. But so is +1 carabines and soon to be +1 melee as well. Marines getting a couple of tumors over here. But yeah, it's not like REYNOR will dive on top of those Marines. He knows he cannot fight in that choke point. First tank is out, second tank is on the way. A couple medivacs are going to be on the way as well. Cure is just trying to take control of the map, really. He's not really trying to kill as many links as possible. He's just trying to stop REYNOR from sneaking past him. Stop him from actually getting some damage. Did Cure see that? Oh, I think he didn't. I think he didn't. Oh my god. Oh my god, is he moving out? Oh, yes he is. Oh gosh. Yeah, that is going to be a Baneling bust. And Cure doesn't have his army in position. Tanks are not sieged. There's a lot of Lings and Banelings over here moving out. The Baneling mine doesn't really kill a lot. Here comes the surround. The Baneling bust works. Everything is covered by Baneling's acid. REYNOR takes game number 3 and goes to match point. What a game by REYNOR. Let's see if it ends here and now on Blackburn. The bottom right hand corner. It's the blue Zer player from Team Clash. He only needs 1 game out of the next 4 to get into the finals. Can he do that? It is REYNOR. The other side of the map. In the red is the Terran player, and oh my goodness, does he need a miracle today? Because his opponent is kind of playing like a madman. But if there is one player who can get 4 games in a row out of REYNOR, it's this guy over here. Make some noise for Cure. And even on Blackburn is a 16 pool. REYNOR badly doesn't want to be caught by a proxy. Oh my god, this thing is so noisy. Why is it so noisy? Oh, okay, stopped. Oh, it's noisy only when in vision. Alright, alright. I get it. Oh, again. Double Rex. This time a Reaper. And nothing crazy like an early reactor. Without a Reaper, without Factory. Alright, this looks a little bit more like a standard 2-1-1. Maybe free command center before starport as well. Maybe free Rex, command center, factory, starport. All of these are good choices for Cure. Especially on this map, especially since REYNOR went for a very, very fast double expand. Oh my. Yeah, that... What? I don't really know what prompted him to do that, but it looks like REYNOR wants to rush the late game, and Cure is making a lot of Reapers. 2 Reapers? Okay, this game is already all kinds of weird on a map that is all kinds of weird. Cure hiding his Reaper from the Overlord, which is sitting over here just in case. Sneaky Reapers will go around. There's already a Reaper on the map, by the way. Oh. Yeah, we don't care about effective APM, to be honest. Alright, Cure not gonna do much here in the natural. The Queen will shoot away the Reaper. 2 more incoming. I mean, I don't really get what 4 Reapers can do, right? Like, okay, REYNOR went for an early 3rd Archery, and that is not great for him facing 4 Reapers. Actually, it's 4 Reapers at a time. Queens don't really have too many problems against Reapers. A couple lanes are out right now. Both Queens are going to survive. The 3rd is out right now. The lanes are in position. And REYNOR didn't even need the 6 scouting lanes at the beginning, because Cure went full M with Reapers and didn't really get much. Of course, the factory is up and coming, but yeah, just REYNOR is immensely ahead right now, just due to the sheer amount of workers he can produce. He can really pump out drones like crazy, and now this Overlord is going to get another full scout. He's going to see the starport in production, and he knows there's no fur to begin with for Cure, so he knows he only needs a defensive structure, and he drops down a Roach Warren. Why a Roach Warren and not a Baneley Nest, you may ask? He already has 3 bases. He can pump out 1,000,000 roaches without really slowing down anything in his build. Larry is incoming, and quite possibly REYNOR wants to get to the Lurker tech he's so famous for. A little bit of a move out from Cure, which is interesting. It will slow down creep, which is already pretty good. I don't think he will get much more. There's 4 Queens in position. Actually, maybe would have got something, but of course the 9 Roaches in production will definitely stop Cure from getting anything too aggressive. REYNOR is just waiting for a moment he can take this base and go absolutely crazy with production. The medivacs are out. There's a lot of bio, actually, to be completely honest. No combat shields, only steam, I think. Yeah, only steam. And what was their message? Alright, an Oval of Fools, but in the end, it looks like REYNOR, even with the supply block, is just more than happy to drop down 1,000,000 upgrades at a single time. Alright, Cure adding all of his unit in his medivac, ready to stop this archery from ever becoming a thing. REYNOR might have tried to get this a little bit too early, with Cure very much able to get around everything right now. He's really making REYNOR work to get his stuff up. These roaches are gonna stop this medivac from getting even more damage onto that side, but yeah, this archery is still pretty much exposed. The roaches are still there for defense, which means that actually Cure can try to double prone to another location, which is exactly what he's looking for, actually. Reapers shoot out, sorry. But of course, over here Cure will not find an easy way into this. Yeah, he's trying to get as much scouting information as possible. He's going to see the lair, which is already good information, but of course it's 7 minutes. Of course, REYNOR has a lair. Was probably looking for a Hydroden or something like that. but it doesn't really look like it's happening yet. The archery is about to go up. Cure looking for some damage with another medivac. And finally dropping down the third command center. Cure is not really keeping up with economy with his opponent. Roaches though, not really the best at fighting these marines. Okay, Cure might have overstepped a little bit. That's a lot of roaches. They don't need to be good when they're this high in number. And REYNOR trying to go around this and try to stop these medivacs from getting even more damage than they already did. Ravagers being morphed, and now REYNOR looking to march forward. He's not been producing much workers. He's on a 120 supply of worth of roaches, and on 4 bases, 64 workers. Like this is a lot of army. Of course, there are 4 tanks in a very good spot for Cure. I don't know if REYNOR can break past this. He can deal significant damage, but break through that and win the game? Yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't. Roaches coming from different locations, trying to get as much of a concave as possible, but the marines are diving on top of everything, and the tanks are really bringing the battle to these roaches and ravagers. Army supply of REYNOR vanishes in the blink of an eye, and it looks like finally the Zero player might have done a deadly mistake in this series. He still has a very good production and a very good economy. I don't think he's dead, and I don't think his army is very strong either. And he's just been making more and more roaches to stay alive, and that might hurt in a couple minutes. Alright, REYNOR trying to catch these units over here. This base is of course always very exposed. Oh, but the units are not there to defend it. The roaches are on the other side. And it looks like REYNOR might possibly lose this base. Cure knows he doesn't have enough DPS to get that. That base is very bruised. Oh, what do we have here? Tunneling close for these roaches. REYNOR jazzing it out. That's an upgrade I'm not seeing in a while in this matchup. Of course, burrowed roaches might really destroy the economy of Cure if used correctly. Cure looking for a drop into the main. There are roaches there as well. Beautiful spread in the army of REYNOR, really covering all of the most important bases. This one is not very covered actually. And Cure is going exactly for that. The roaches come down on the ramp, but it's not really high enough in number to defend it. And it looks like Cure might just load up into this medivac and get on top of that base again. Roaches trying to set up a concave over here. There's one Ravager to support this with Bile, and Cure does exactly that. He collects his units, he gets over there, but this time roaches are in position. Scan gets dropped to stop the creep tumor, which has been consistently stopped this game actually. REYNOR not really able to drop down as much creep as he wanted to, especially with this kind of army. Roaches burrowing over here, looking for the move out. Oh, does Cure see that? Oh, yes he does. There's a missile turret. Those are dead roaches. REYNOR makes Cure waste a little bit of time before replenishing his forces. There's an infestation pit going up, and those Vipers, once they kick in, are going to be... Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Is this a TVZ base trade? Yeah, this base is not staying alive for a lot. How many tanks is that? It's 9 tanks. Yeah, that is pretty deadly to an army of roaches. But you know what roaches are good for? Killing mineral lines. It looks like REYNOR is trying to do that. This base is not yet, by the way. Yeah, Cure is just relentlessly pushing forward. There's not many Ravagers with this. The tanks are actually unsieged. And these roaches trying to do their best. Ravagers raining down vials from the sky. They're going to get probably the best possible trade that REYNOR could have ever attempted. But to be honest, this is still an incredibly bad position. The tanks are finally sieged, and that should be the end of REYNOR. Like, his supply is very high. Yeah, actually, you know what? I do think he has enough to defend this. He's going for this around. The tanks are exposed. The roaches on the back. The ravages piling down the army of Cure. Oh yeah, burrow roaches time. And they will go up right on top of the tanks. And it's now that REYNOR makes his push forward. Caught between a rock and a hard place is Cure, losing the whole of his supply. What a beautiful move by REYNOR. Losing 2 bases sure does hurt, especially with the lack of tech that REYNOR has right now. His hype is not up yet, but the army of Cure was not able to push forward. These medivacs have a lot of energy, but there's not much on the ground for that. Burrow roaches doing even more work left and right. Where are they? Are they in the main? Oh my goodness, they're in the main as well. They spread around. Oh. Meanwhile, the rest of the army of REYNOR catching up, going for another attack. There's not many tanks with these. Oh my goodness, these piles eating so many medivacs. Look at the health of those medivacs. Oh, another pile connecting with a medivac Cure, losing a lot actually. Oh, so is REYNOR, to be completely honest. Both players really going ham on each other. REYNOR has a lot of supply compared to Cure, but don't forget, this supply is highly inflated by Roach Ravager, which is not the most optimal army at this stage of the game. At 14 minutes, you might want to have more, and here comes the Hydra then. Is the hive up actually? Yes, it is. And REYNOR is looking to get his key units out. It's one medivac trying to scare REYNOR a little bit. And yeah, boom. And it's a dead medivac. Good scouting though from Cure. Getting some energy out of these Vipers. And of course, getting to see that there are Vipers out. +3 missile attack is on the way for the Zerg player as well. The Lurker then is going up. It takes a long time to go up though. And this might be the perfect moment for Cure to strike. He knows what is up. He's moving out a little bit, but he looks like he just wants to get in position to defend over here. REYNOR has a scouting roach bird underneath the army of Cure, which might give REYNOR a little bit too much information. Cure doesn't really want that to happen, and then one roach is very well hidden. REYNOR maxed out again, is making Hydras finally, and of course Lurker then almost up. Getting this choke point will mean disaster for Cure, since there are Vipers ready to drop down Blinding Clouds. Vipers move backwards. No Blinding Clouds dropped yet. The Vipers waiting for the tanks to siege before using their energy, and honestly REYNOR might have to sack this base. The army of Cure is much stronger than one of REYNOR. Doesn't really have a lot of work because he cannot easily replace these, but 6 Lurkers are incoming as well as range upgrade for these Lurkers. Oh, here they are, and this is a deadly position for Cure to actually push into. No Blinding Clouds, no Abduct used yet. The Vipers keeping their energy up for the right moment. Cure trying to set up a concave, especially with the tanks. The Lurkers will move backwards, but these tanks are forcing the army of REYNOR more and more behind. Finally, Lurkers dropping down the first shot. Ravager piles raining on top of the tanks. Blinding Clouds beautifully hit on top of anything. So much of the army of Cure was not attacking in a single time. The Lurkers trying to do their best. More Blinding Clouds need to be used. Here they are. The army of Cure is so bruised, but so is the one of REYNOR. The Lurkers coming in clutch, as well as the Vipers. The Vipers don't have a lot of energy. The Queen's trying to bring the fight to the Marauders. Vipers trying to get as much energy as possible from Dead Hydra, then Cure still pushing forward. What a game we have, guys. Roaches, Hydras, and Ravagers hiding in the natural. The Lurkers trying to do their best. Finally, here comes the Vipers. Here comes the Abducts. And of course, Cure, without tanks, He sent scattering lurkers marching forward, and so are the roaches. Liberators are going to be out in a little while for Cure. Is this game over? It looks close to that. This one lurker is destroying the last few marauders. GG gets gold, and another beautiful series from REYNOR 4-0 against Cure.